Hey guys, what's up? It's Slickshot Games here, and welcome to another workshop map review. Today we're going to be reviewing the map DE Garrison. The user creator, by the name of Oliver, kindly sent us a message, and upon reviewing it, we decided, yeah, this looks like a nice map to review and get it out there. So without further ado, let's begin. This is a map that takes place in Oslo, Norway, in a garrison, basically a fort. So I'm gonna be giving you, of course this is subjective, I'm just gonna be giving some of my thoughts, what I would do, some suggestions, and then overall give it a map rating. So without further ado, let's check out the A site. So for me, first thing I notice here that I would want changed is this little bump here. I'd prefer it to be a bit more smoother, somewhat like the cobble one, maybe lower to the ground or less of a step to it, because if you try to jump up here, it takes 2 steps to get up here, and it just seems like it could just be an awkward, I don't know. I feel like it could be smoother, but that's fine. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, change this area, but or that wooden plank maybe, but making this smoother, and I like this area though, definitely. It's like a quad on cash, it's kind of like a quad style. You could hold this angle, wait for the enemy to come. You could have a double setup here, where this guy plays passive here, maybe watching that doorway, and this guy can be here watching this doorway. There's also this section back, along with these cannons, you could have different cheeky angles, maybe work around it. There's also this area where you could be all the way out here, almost trying to get a cheeky peek, maybe head glitch right here. One thing to note, everywhere on this map you could actually fall off it. You could fall here, and I would be dead by now, but I have God mode on. But yeah, it's an interesting feature definitely, and it keeps it realistic. I like it. I feel maybe like some of the edges and the sides could be a little bit taller or have railings or not railings, but I guess more castle walls, and make them taller to allow for more, I don't know, for less errors, say if you fall accidentally, because I see a lot of this area, especially back here as we're heading to B, but this area, you can't fall here, but upon hitting this railing or this side right here, anywhere over here you'll die. So it's pretty risky, but it does add a nice dynamic. It's kind of odd and awkward the way you can either go around here or here, but overall it's an interesting idea. I like that. So we're going to be heading over here to the B site now. We're going to be covering the sites first, and then we'll go over the other part of the map, the little bit more complex part. Over here, it's the indoor section, the inner bomb site, if you want to call it. You can enter from here. As a T, you're going to have 2 choke points to enter. You can come up from here and here, unless you do like a flank play or something. So as a CT, or no, first of all, let's get to the site. It's a little bit, I feel like it could be a little bit claustrophobic. I would suggest maybe if you want to take off this wall and this wall, keep a pole here, maybe a shade top or a roof here, and maybe remove this wall, and to just add more of a spacious style, more, I don't know, just make it more spacious and versatile, and allow the T's to be able to make it to the site and defend, and the CTs to defend a little bit easier if there were more space on the actual site. So let's get to the setup here. Try it again. You could actually get up on here, and you can just hold this angle or hold down here this angle. You could of course smoke these choke points off. Wow, I butchered that smoke. Well, you get the gist of it. You could smoke these off. The CT can even push in here. Now I haven't tested the amount of time and speed you can get into this place. So maybe it would be hard to play a pushed up angle like that. But yeah, as the T's will spawn, what is it? It's T spawn over here, and they could choose to either go right to A or left to B, and then mid, which you could attack both sites pretty fast from mid. We'll cover that later. But yeah, as a T, you can enter here, as I mentioned before, go up these stairs, and boom, you're heading over to the site. But I feel like this is an incredibly CT-sided map. You could actually fall on here, as I mentioned before, but the angles they can hold, you can even play a really pushed up angle up here, just behind the door almost, just holding both angles. This you could hold down here, if you hear stuff above you. I feel like this is just from shooting at it, I could tell that it's almost, there's no resistance from the metal. Or I feel like that needs to have more resistance there, or be stronger of a force in weakening the bullets. This angle up here, as I mentioned before, just you quickly get up here and hold this angle. You could even get up all the way up here, cross this thing, and be holding angles like this. All these rocks are perfect, either this close-up rock for maneuvering or keeping your eye on one specific thing. This rock back here as well, you could play around it. So yeah, I like the rocks. They're interesting dynamics and kind of allow the CTs to play around these things. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this B site. Overall, I like the idea and I like the style of this map, though I must add. It's definitely a unique style. I like the look of it and everything. So yeah, that was a plus. Good job. Alright, let's get from the T perspective. So we already went to the left, the B site. There's the 2 doors. Now let's try to see the A side. Let's see. Let's show you around here. So pretty standard way. It's just going to be the T side of the map. Now this is an area of the map where it's a little bit, I feel like almost a maze when you're heading to the A site. These double doors lead into mid. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, maybe a maze wasn't the right word, but a lot of walls and corners to check early in this area. You can't, I think, you can't get in here or up there. And this will lead to the A site. And you could actually creep in here and boom, you're on the A site for a double pronged attack if you want to make your way. And it looks like, I haven't tested this, but I feel like this area would be one of the more less protected of the, maybe a guy would be in the double doors here, possibly. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of mid presence and abusing of mid. So let's get to mid real fast. Alright, from the T perspective, mid. You enter from T spawn and there's 2 ways you can go. The left or the upper section. Let's go to the upper section. You come out here and here is mid, right here. This door will lead you to A. This little underpass will lead you to B. So let's see how that dynamic works as a CT in this mid area. CT can hold here up on this haystack. I like the dynamic of this. I even tried some flashes here. You can try to flash. It's like a little pop flash out there. So yeah, there's that. That you could hold behind this wall, the well, kind of trying to play around this stuff. If they jump down there, you can. Up on this wall, try to catch some, work around these plants that you can shoot. And finally, these double doors. If you want to try to play very passive all the way back there. Let's get to the second part of the mid T entrance. You enter over here and you'll actually be in the side corridor, which this area I feel is insane, will be abused insanely. It's an underpass area and you'll see things like this, I feel. They'll launch a smoke to cover themselves, launch a flash, and jump in here. And you'll be able to make your way over here and boom, you're already on B that fast. From this underpass area, which seems pretty difficult to cover, given that you're trying to, or not very difficult to cover, but if you lose track on mid, just GG basically. They'll get to the site very fast. So yeah, there's these 2 sections here. Sorry, I skipped there. There's these 2 sections. Now if you enter this door over here, you'll get, and take a right, you'll be on A really fast. So both mid allows you to go to mid or go to the other sites relatively fast, very fast speeds. If you proceed here, you'll be in the middle of the double doors. You could sneak your way in there too for a double pronged attack, also on the A site. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty difficult. I feel like CTs are gonna put a lot of mid emphasis. Maybe a guy here, maybe a guy up here. Just double it up and refrain from these T's from doing anything cheeky. Now you can jump up here on this block, on these barrels, and just fight your way through. So that's pretty interesting. I kind of don't agree with the height. Maybe the height seems a little awkward here. Feels like you're too overly exposed here. Either make it taller or, yeah, I guess maybe make it taller. It's just, but it is an interesting dynamic in underpass area. This is one little smoke I learned or figured out myself, kind of. You could smoke this door. Interesting thing here. Maybe possible boost from this box, possibly. I have not tested it, but it would be very interesting if you could boost somebody up here and do this. But anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on this map. Overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. For style, some of the sites need to be more open or have additional elements to them to make it a little bit more dynamic and less claustrophobic and add more of a professional map feel to it. Overall, I like the idea. Seems like a fun map to play, fun map to see the kind of stuff that could be done on this map and the plays that could be done, especially with the mid. Looking like the mid is pretty a very high octane, really fast section of the map. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out in a real competitive setting. Overall, thank you very much, Oliver, for the suggestion. It was a pleasure doing the map review. Everybody else, link is in the description. If you'd like to request us to review something, either anything on the workshop, skins, maps, anything, or just a comment or request a video in general, please comment below. We'd love to hear your stuff. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week.